Now the car is having a problem starting. With SpoCon being less than a week away, Adrian and I have been working tirelessly in this Vegas heat trying to piece together my Evo in time for her first ever car show. Since February, Sophie has been under the knife undergoing major transformations, including a full Voltec style wide body kit wrapped in Avery's gloss gray vinyl. I've spent thousands of dollars buying the parts I needed for this car, and with our deadline being so short, we've been facing a lot of obstacles including extreme heat, fitment issues, and self-inflicted injuries. Now, with the show being less than a week away, we face one of our biggest struggles yet. In today's episode, we tackle relocating the battery to the trunk of the car. In theory, this should not be a difficult task, but you might be surprised as to all the obstacles we face along the way. Watch as we struggle with fitment, wiring, and more, and learn what not to do in today's episode, Episode 5, Sophie's Road to SpoCon.
Right now I'm not tying anything and everything's loose because we're gonna test fit it. And this bottom tray we're gonna drill through the car so it's secure.
The box I ended up buying off eBay, it's a little bit too big. It's universal. It's a little bit too wide, as you can see right here. We're gonna have to actually go in and make a new hole next to it. We're just gonna have to do some customizing to make it sit because we want it to be really secure.
You ready? Are you ready to drill?
I'm a little nervous. I don't like drilling through. I don't like doing permanent things to my car. Like,
Let's go. Let's go nice and slow. $140, $80, $120, $80, $80. What we did is we installed power distribution blocks for my Evo 10 to trim it, cut it, because I didn't want to cut any harnesses or nothing from the stock one. I labeled everything before I took it out, so I has like 100 amps where they're supposed to be. All we need to do now is just build a custom bracket, and then it's basically gonna mount on top of like the transmission mount, solid right here, and then obviously everything's gonna be zip tie, clean, and then good to go.
okay, so once you get your battery kit installed, you're gonna want to take the power wire. You're gonna want to route it up and around the top, down and through that little hole. It's gonna come out this little hole right here. Tuck it in. You're gonna take these off. You're gonna run it through here, through this little hole right here. Once again, take this piece off, run it through here, and then there is a spot to run it through.
There's a rubber grommet that there's a harness from the factory that goes through there. Drill a hole, you feed it through there.
And then we're gonna zip tie it all up, and then it comes popping out of here. And just like that. And we're gonna leave most of the slack in the trunk.
I was gonna cut it and then put like an eyelid, how Devin did it, and then bolt it right here. So we got more ground.
If you are dual map tuned, taking out your battery resets your tune, so it switches me back to 91, and I currently am on E85. So by holding down the gas pedal, it switches back to E85. zip tied the cable up. We had a little bit of slack back here, so we wrapped it. And so this was me and Adrian's like 3rd or 4th attempt at installing this kit. All said and done, it should take you probably an hour to get everything up and running. My biggest tip, my biggest piece of advice would be to get a kit that's specifically made for your car. We did end up having to buy a whole new cable. You want to make sure you get really good gauge wire. We ended up not running a fuse. I know a lot of people recommend running a fuse. My tuner said it's not necessary, maybe a circuit breaker, so that's going to be our next project.